What's good? It's Jordan. Today I'll be talking to you about ageism has ruined society. See, in this life today, we have the ability to understand where ageism stems from. We have the ability to understand that in this life, hierarchy plays an important role in society. Many times, there are people who may be younger than you that have been provided with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But sometimes we often overlook their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding being provided from God because they are younger. We have to understand that God can work through anybody. And if we do not understand that and we look at it from the lens of ageism and how ageism plays a factor within this world, then we will not understand the blessings that have been provided to us. Many times God can speak through the youth. We have to understand and focus on the youth because the youth will be the future. Many times we have this mindset of hierarchy due to our own upbringing, due to our own paths. And we have to break those systems because if we write people off just because they may be younger than us, then there's no learning in that. There can be people who are younger than us that have been provided with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from God. And then there can be people who are older than us who may not have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and still operate as a young person without wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So we have to understand within the constructs of society where God could work through anybody. God could work through anything. We have to focus on that and we have to understand that because if we don't, then we get caught up into the world and what the world has to offer. You see, many times if we spew this ridiculous ideology of looking at it from a perspective of someone who may be older than you deserves the right to have more leverage over you because they're older than you, then that's not right. We have to understand that there may be people that are older than us, but that doesn't mean that they're right for the program and the system that has been placed within society. Oftentimes in this world, we may look at elders as people that we have to look up to. And it's not wrong to look up to elders, but every elder is not right in their ideology, in their belief system, in how they experience the world. So we have to understand that in this life today, no matter if you're young or old, you're still susceptible to making mistakes. You're still susceptible to not doing the right thing. And we have to understand that just because you are an older person, it doesn't mean that you're always right. Like, for example, there's many cases and many situations within family dynamics, friendships, where we have this ideology of just blindly listening to elders, especially as a young person, even in business settings. And when you blindly listen to an elder, that elder may not want to see you do good. That elder may not want to see you actually break free of the bondage within society, and you may be led astray. When we go within society with this mind frame, we're fearful of anything and everything, especially as a younger person. When you have a mindset of just believing your elders and believing older people just because they're older than you, then you oftentimes get played because that's how older people play the game with younger people. People may not like it, but that is how the game is being played. When we look at business settings now, especially in career paths, workplace environments, the older people oftentimes get leverage over the younger people just because they're older and they may seem as more seasoned. But just because you're an older individual doesn't mean that you're right and you qualify for that position. Change needs to be in society for a better society. Change needs to occur. And right now, we have to understand the power dynamic within society where many times as a young person, you're told that you have to just wait your turn and be patient. And many times when you're under that mind frame, that mindset, you actually can't make a change and actually can't do anything because you get written off because you're a younger individual. See, in this life today, understand that whether you're a young individual or an older individual, take the time to hear what one another has to say, because you can never be too young to give positive advice and share your experience, because there's been times where younger people have been through situations that older people may have not been through as yet. And there's situations where older people have been through things that younger people haven't been through as yet. And experience comes at a different time for different people. Your life isn't the same as someone else's life, but we have to understand this and move accordingly. We have to understand this mind frame and really navigate this life with the mind frame of just knowing that we can learn from everyone, whether they're younger and older. Everyone is important. Everyone's opinion is important, and it's not bad to learn from one another. When we stop learning from one another, and when we stop ourselves from learning from one another because this person may be younger than us, we essentially don't want to learn. We essentially don't want to grow. We essentially are stuck in that mind frame of just quote unquote respecting your elders and listening to whatever older people may have to say blindly just because they're older. Just because you're older than somebody doesn't necessarily mean that you're more wiser than that individual. Just because you're older than somebody doesn't necessarily mean that in this life that individual is providing you positive advice and positive mentorship and leadership. Sometimes in this life, there will be people who may be older than you, and just because they may have not gotten to the position that they may have gotten in their own personal life, they may try to stagnate you and stop you from actually gaining position in your own personal life, and we have to understand where this nature comes from. We have to understand that everyone does not have your best interests at heart. And we have to also understand that in this life today, it's best that you filter out people and understand who you're dealing with beforehand, before you end up dealing with somebody that does not have your best interests at heart, especially in this life today. So today, I'll be reading you this scripture, and I hope that the scripture helps you in your own personal life. 1 Peter 5, verse 5. Likewise, you who are younger, be subject to the elders. Clothe yourself, all of you, with humility towards one another. For God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. 1 Timothy 4:12. Let no one despise you for your youth, but set the believers an example in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. See, in this life today, we're going to go through many experiences. Just because you may be a younger person, don't think that your experiences are not important and they go unnoticed. That is what makes up your life. We have to understand now that no matter if you're a younger or older person, it's best that we understand that we can learn from everybody. In this life today, if we have this divided mind frame, we will not be able to come together. We will not be able to make change. We will not be able to make any growth within our lives in this life today. And as society and the world gets worse, it's best that we understand that there's strength in numbers, there's strength in unifying and building community, and there's strength in learning from one another. If you want to write people off based upon the aspect of thinking that they don't know what you know and what you say may not be important to them because you feel like you are of a larger stature than them, then you will not learn anything. Then you will not grow. Then you will not make change in your own life. And, that's fine if everyone does not want to make change. And it's fine if people do not want to make the change in their own personal life. But if you are a person of purpose, of stature, and a public figure, so to speak, and you don't want to make a change, how are people supposed to listen to you? How are people supposed to gravitate to you? How are people supposed to take what you say and what you do seriously in this life today? So it's important that we understand all factors within this life with dealing with society. And ageism is one of those factors where you see within the constructs of career paths, the constructs of social settings, the constructs of society as a whole, where it's mostly navigated and governed by older people and not really governed by younger people, and when we start to understand that, hey, the youth has the vision and the youth can be the change, then we start prioritizing the youth to make a better future. A better future starts with the youth. If we do not focus on the youth and we don't focus on positively influencing the youth, we will have a worse future. We have to understand that for many times within media platforms and publications, the youth has been influenced in a negative way. If we can break that chain and influence the youth in a positive way, in a way leaning more towards God, then we can make a better, positive society. But if we don't, then society will suffer because we choose not to make the changes in this life today in order for us to help others and in order for us to help ourselves and receive the blessings from God that we need in this life today. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope that you understand this message and you use this message in your own personal life for change, for growth, for learning, for experience, and helping yourself and helping others, and knowing that we are all one body and the Most High provides and protects and guides us if we put our faith in Him today.